because we all say Happy Christmas to people, don't we? Happy Christmas. But how can you actually have a happier Christmas? It would be interesting to know, wouldn't it? And so I've got some thoughts, and I've got 10 very quick ideas about things you can do to have a happier Christmas, which I thought might be a fun thing to do since it's December. So my first one is that I think Christmas can be quite stressful because there's a lot of organizing required, isn't there? Of planning everything, and, you know, food and relatives and just everything. So my first tip is reduce your stress in the build-up by having a jobs to-do list, just one list of everything, all written in one list, everything you got to do. Because if you have post-it notes everywhere and it's in your head and diary and email, it's too stressful. So my first tip is have one jobs to-do list with everything on it. That's my first thing. Quite good so far, do you think? Anyway, the second one, the second one is focus on the good things rather than the annoying things. And obviously, you know, you could get all het up about the fact you've got relatives who you don't really like coming to visit, or, you know, or worrying about whether you're spending enough money on presents or whatever. But focus on the good things. And as always, we've got the future, the present, and the past. So, you know, the future is looking forward to. And I think one of the great bits about Christmas is looking forward to it, actually. And looking forward to the people who are going to come, and looking forward to your big turkey dinner and all the things you're going to do. But also the present, you know, just finding little things to savor, like the smell of the Christmas tree, and, you know, putting the decorations out, and all those little decorations that you've forgotten that you had from last year and things. So those little tiny pleasures. And even the chores, you know, can you find pleasure in cleaning the house before the relatives arrive and things? Just that hoovering, the rattle of all the little bits of stuff going up the Hoover tube. So the present, and then the past, we've already said that just looking back on each day and finding maybe 3 good things to give thanks for. So my second thing, I think, is just, you know, to focus on the good parts of it. My third thing is to make the most of your relatives, which can be testing sometimes, because you choose your friends, but you don't choose your relatives, do you? But make the most of your relatives, especially kids, because they're what make Christmas magical, aren't they? So it's great to have them visiting, but also make the most of the old ones who might not be around much more. You know, so make the most of your older relatives and ask them things, get them to tell you about what they've done in their lives and what they've learned and all that sort of thing. So, you know, just really spend a bit of time with those old relatives who you don't see very often, maybe. So make the most of your relatives, especially the old and the young, is my third one. My fourth one is to get some fresh air. And we know that going out of doors and being in nature makes us happy. But quite often at Christmas, we spend the whole time indoors, and it's not good for us. So even if you have to put on lots of clothes and go out, even if it's snowing, I mean, it's great, isn't it, going out when it's snowing? I know that Julia's looking forward to the snow. The Norwegians say there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. So I think that's a Norwegian saying. I'm going to claim it. So yeah, making sure you go outside and get some air is something you can do to have a better Christmas. And linked to that, number 5 is exercise. Just get some exercise somehow, because it does get rid of stress and it makes you sleep better, and anything, you know, it doesn't have to be a marathon, although obviously that's great. But even just walking the dog for 10 minutes, a little bit of exercise. So I think that's got to be in there. Number 6, we know that making other people happy makes us happy. And I think, you know, Christmas is a really time to think about that. And maybe there's a neighbor who nobody ever goes and sees, or a lonely person who lives in your street who you can go and take some mince pies round, or some mulled wine or something. Or maybe you can just help them with something they're trying to do, like, you know, getting a tree into their house or putting up lights or whatever. So trying to make other people happy, I think, we should always be doing that, of course. But I think Christmas is a good time for that. Number 7 of my little list of 10 is just doing something you've been putting off. And I think it's really easy to think, I'll do it after Christmas. I'll just do it. But actually do it before Christmas. Do something that you're putting off and just fix it and do it now. Maybe it's clearing out your shed or fixing something, but just get that job done before Christmas so that you've got that nice feeling of achievement. And during Christmas, then you can put your feet up thinking, I've done that. I've got that new carpet put in the living room or whatever it might be. And that actually takes me to number 8, which is to declutter, throw some stuff away, because Christmas is going to mean more stuff arriving, almost certainly some more presents turning up. And so it is a good idea to get rid of some stuff before Christmas. And decluttering is very satisfying. And we love Marie Kondo. Sometime we've got to interview her, Jerry, although I'm frightened of her. But I think just to throw some stuff away, it's really satisfying. It feels good. Sense of achievement. It's much better than the feeling of your house gradually filling up and, oh no, where am I going to put these Christmas presents? I'm always impressed actually by Julia's background. Julia's room always looks completely clutter free, doesn't it? Really minimalist. I mean, I don't know what's just out of view, but is that all you've got on your desk? Just those things? That's it. But decluttering. Anyway, that's number 8. Number 9 is just think about some things that you have been meaning to do but haven't got around to during the year, and see if you can squeeze them in before the end of the year, maybe between Christmas and New Year, which is a bit of a sort of dead period, isn't it? And maybe you could just finally get round to, doing a bit of meditation or doing Tai Chi or, restacking your log collection, your log pile, which is something I like to do, or training your dog or whatever it might be. So I think in between Christmas and New Year, just make a little list of some things you're going to do then, and maybe even put them in your diary so that you definitely will do them. So that was number 9, making a list of things that you like doing, not horrible chores, but things that you like doing, but you just haven't got around to doing or haven't done enough of. And then finally, number 10 is to just take stock of your year and think about next year. And, do a sort of stop, start, continue thing where you think, what am I going to stop doing next year or do less of? What am I going to push out of my life to make room for time for things I want to do? So get rid of things that are making you unhappy. So you've got more time for things that make you happy. So that's the stop bit. And then start. What new things am I going to start doing next year? And then continue is, what do I want to do more of next year that I've enjoyed, but I want to increase the amount. So what am I going to push out? What am I going to start? And then what am I going to do more of? Spend more time. I'm going to spend more time sitting in my beach hut down at the beach next year. That's definitely a plan. I've got a plan of how I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do more of that because I know that makes me happy. Just sitting in the sunshine, listening to the sea. It's quite lazy of me. It's not very type A, is it? But I want to do more of that. And I've got some other things I'm going to do more of. So that's my last thing, really. Take stock of this year that's gone, what was good, what wasn't, and then think about how you're going to make next year better. It's more than just New Year's resolutions, because they're often just, give up smoking or get more exercise. But, we're talking proper plans and proper things of how you're going to do it. And that's my 10th one. I actually had one more, which doesn't fit on there, which is get your presents nice and early. So I've got all of mine actually now for everybody already done, because I always try to buy all my Christmas presents in November, because then I'm not stressed in December, because I just don't want to be thinking, oh my God, I still haven't got a present for somebody. So I think get it done nice and early is my 11th tip.